I'm here at the Kansas to Kenya Community Development Team. Kansas to Kenya has partnered with Five Talents International as well as the ACK Diocese of Nakuru to develop a Nakuru Community Development Trust. I would like to introduce the director of that trust, Reverend Anthony Mambo, as well as his field service officer, Mary Jiroge.
The ACK Diocese of Nakuru has partnered with Five Talents International and Kansas to Kenya to form Nakuru Community Development Trust because we want to empower people in the community. It is God's will for His people to grow socially, spiritually, intellectually, and socioeconomically. Microfinance is a way for the church to spread this holistic gospel. The church needs microfinance because it's God's will for His people to live well. They are to live well here before they go out there. And the will of God is that His people should lead a respected life, a life whereby they can be able to sustain their own life. They can eat, they can get clothes, they can get shelter, and other basic needs. And so the church has to go for this, to be able to help His people and to be able to empower them. Sometimes people think that they are not able. But the truth of the matter is that we have the resources. We have the resources, but the church has to show His people where the resources are. And that is by empowering them through capacity building and training. Training them to see what is around them, and just helping them to see around and see what they have. The NCDT uses the proven 5-talent model of microfinance. We chose this model because it is proven and because it is based on savings. When people save, they are able to sustain their own life. They will not rely on handouts anymore. They are able to support themselves. When people become self-reliant, they develop self-worth. It is what I refer to as the 3 S's: the savings, self-reliant, and self-worth. This model also brings into unity in the community, or what we call cohesiveness in the church. When people come together and pool their resources, they don't need collateral or logbooks. Instead, they support one another through trust. You support me, then I support you. Not many places have people who support each other without exploiting one another. But the church provides a safe environment. Because of Christian values, people support each other and encourage one another to save and care for one another.
As we work at growing the NCDT, we go to churches in the diocese, we create awareness and let people know about these trust groups. We give them examples of existing trust groups. The group should have at least 25 members. We help them form a constitution and elect leaders because the trust groups are community managed. The constitution is the set of rules used to guide the trust group. We take leaders for training on how to keep proper books of accounts. Members are required to pay a minimum registration fee to become vested members of the trust group. Groups are required to save for a minimum of 6 months before they begin to disperse loans. After 6 months, we help the trust groups form what we call cell groups. The members of these cell groups co-guarantee one another. Part of the loan is guaranteed by the member saving, while the other by the guarantors in the trust group. As NCDT, we recommend the groups to charge not more than 12% per annum. But of the interest earned by the group, dividends are distributed at the end of the year to the members of the group or the shareholders of the group. 10% of the dividends are plowed back to the aggregate of NCDT and ACK.
K2K has entered into this partnership with the ACK Diocese of Nakuru and Five Talents International to develop the Nakuru Community Development Trust because we have an interest in addressing the Millennium Development Goal of poverty alleviation in a meaningful but also sustainable way. We realized that a microfinance initiative could be a way to address poverty alleviation. We also realized that a microfinance initiative could potentially address some of those other Millennium Development Goals. Thanks to Bishop Machai here in the Diocese of Nakuru, and thanks to our partner 5 Talents, and thanks to our own K2K Microfinance Director Jay Vandervelde and his efforts to reach out to 5 Talents, the opportunity to truly address poverty alleviation in a sustainable way and meaningful way is now a reality. This model truly empowers the individuals that participate. This project was kicked off about a year ago, and as Reverend Anthony Mambo, the director of the NCDT, will tell you, because the model is based on savings and because it's community managed, it truly develops a sense of self-reliance, but perhaps more importantly, a sense of self-worth. We all, I think, have a need inside of us to make a difference in someone else's life or to help someone else. It's a bit like our Kansas to Kenya logo. It's Kansas to Kenya, but also Kenya to Kansas. No matter the project or the hours we put into a project or the dollars we put into a project, we always end up coming back to Kansas feeling like we're bringing back an intrinsic reward that's far greater than what we put into the projects and what we gave while we were over here. The beautiful thing about this model is that it gives the members of these trust groups the opportunity to have that feeling as well, that intrinsic reward. By simply making a deposit in the trust, they are truly making a difference in their peers' life. Eventually, the NCDT itself will become self-sustaining and self-reliant. Reverend Mambo and Mary, the technical field officer, are well on their way to making that happen. But for now, the project needs the continued support of the 3 pillars: 5 Talents International, the ACK Diocese of Nakuru, and Kansas to Kenya. We are so grateful to our partners 5 Talents International and the ACK Diocese of Nakuru for their continued support of this project. We're also extremely grateful to Reverend Anthony Mambo and his excellent work. But we're very, very grateful for the opportunity for all of us back in Kansas to continue to support this project and to truly make a difference in a meaningful and sustainable way.